Center for Information Society and Media has been quoted as saying it is a catastrophic situation that while the demand for ICT is growing, the supply is declining in all of Europe. And then, not surprisingly, here in Canada, a Manpower survey recently has found out that the situation is actually worsening and not getting better, especially with some of the demographic changes coming in. So let me drill down a little bit more for a moment or two on what the situation in Canada is. Here's the Canadian IT labor market situation. And by the way, I just misspelled labor so that you wouldn't give me a hard time. Distribution of all IT occupations. And as you can clearly see, those that are older, yes, that would include myself, in the industry, all two of us. So those of us who are older in the industry between 2000 and 2008 have now a larger percentage share. And we, as you probably know, the first generation of baby boomers is about to retire or is starting to retire. So this is not a good picture because we are failing to bring new talent into the industry. And not surprisingly, if you look at the tenure of people in IT, you will see that the percentage of people over 60 months in the industry has grown to over 40%, and the ones that are for the first year or the first 2 years in the industry has declined. So the two combined effects of an aging IT workforce with a soon retiring baby boomer workforce, and at the same time us failing to attract talent, is definitely not good news. In fact, in my humble opinion, what happened around 2000 and 2001, we literally threw out the baby with the bathwater. With the burst of the dot-com bubble and all of the media around it, we learned the wrong lesson. We learned maybe that industry isn't as exciting as it sounded in the first place. We learned the wrong lesson that maybe it's not a good career choice for my kids and my friends. We learned the wrong lesson that maybe this industry, IT itself, is not as important to the economic well-being of a country as we initially thought in the late 90s. And obviously you wouldn't be here and sitting here if you didn't know that the opposite is true. But we have to start retelling the story. We have to start being excited about what it is. And so what is the need of this industry? How is the skill set in the industry changing? Bear with me on this busy slide. I won't go through all of those things, but there are a couple of things I would like to highlight. To become smarter on how we think about the problems we are trying to resolve and more business savvy. And the way that we will go about it is changing as well. We get to learning and skilling in a moment, but it used to be a very quick kind of, there's a boot camp for a week and off you go. Today we know it's a much longer, I would argue, a permanent process. So whereas maybe in the 90s lifelong learning was pretty much a lip service, today it is reality. In fact, it's a necessity if you don't want to fall behind. So what do we know about the next generation of IT workers? And please remember, I wouldn't claim that we as Microsoft can peek into the future more than anybody else. But obviously we are part of the process, in fact, one of the engines of this development. And so we have a bit of a glimpse of an idea where it's going. And I looked at a couple of things that I found from different analysts and industry observers and internal discussions. We absolutely know that the expertise have to get broader, and you have to encompass more specialized skills.
For a team actually to join me up on stage. So let's take a look at the solution they had for CHRC.